So the Covenant have already run all the civilians out of the city. It's fairly devoid of life at this point, but thankfully we're not totally alone. You hear that phone ringing? Our visor, in addition to helping us see better at night, also helps us pick out items of interest in the environment, such as this phone booth here. Now we're going to establish an uplink with the superintendent. This is a rudimentary artificial intelligence that runs the whole city of New Mombasa. Everything from garbage collection to traffic lights to utilities. This is a computer program that's got systems everywhere. He's got cameras, he's been watching, and thankfully he's going to be able to be a huge help for us across our mission. So the first thing that we can do is press the back button now, and we have access to a map of the entire city. New Mombasa itself is several square kilometers. It's the biggest map we've ever made in a Halo game before. And you'll be free to move around and explore the city as much as you'd like. And in a lot of ways, the city's going to act as sort of a hub that the missions will then spoke off of. So it's a lot more free-form than prior Halo games. You're not going to be stuck on this sort of pure linear adventure. Now, we could wander around in the dark for kilometers trying to find clues in the whereabouts of our squad. That probably would be a little frustrating, so thankfully the Superintendent's going to help us out here. The Superintendent has actually marked locations around the map that were the last known spots of some of our squad mates. So the one that we're interested in here today is called Oni Alpha Site. So we're going to select that, and now we have an active waypoint marker up here in our HUD. The other way the Superintendent can communicate with you, though, is through subtle means like street signs and lights. As you'll see, he'll react to our presence and use signs to act as a gentle guiding hand to keep us moving in the right direction. So normally we have about 800 meters to go to get to where we need to be today. For the purposes of our demo, we've made a little shortcut here that's just going to help us zip across town. But in the real game, we would have to navigate through the entire city. We have Covenant patrols that randomly spawn throughout that you could either engage or hide from. It's up to the player. And in addition to that, there's quite a few secret things to be discovered in the city that are optional, but will definitely enhance your gameplay experience.
You can see the beacon is right there. So let's kind of see if we can find out what the Superintendent's trying to point us to. As we get into the beacon area, the Superintendent will take your HUD and tint it blue so you kind of know you're in the area. So look around for the clue object. If you turn on the visor, he actually highlights it in yellow, so you can find it a little bit easier. We've got this little remote detonator over here. And this is a clue to what happened to our squad mate. But before we jump into that, I just want to take a moment and talk a little bit about the art of Halo 3 ODST. Built off the Halo 3 engine, you would think that our art would look a little bit dated, because Halo 3's been out for a couple of years now. Still successful, but it's been out for a while. But actually what that meant is all of our tools and technology and engine was done right from the get-go, very early on when we started ODST. And so our artists were able to generate real content and understand the tools and didn't have to worry about the engine changing underneath their feet or waiting on stuff to come online. They were making real, beautiful art right from day one and had a lot of time to polish. And because of that, our art in ODST looks way better than Halo 3. This is an example of one of our beautiful skyboxes. There's many throughout the game, but the big space elevator, the tether that we dropped past in the opening cinematic has since collapsed and is on fire. The Oni building there in the center of the screen has seen better days, and even the bridge out to it is fairly destroyed or non-existent. So maybe if we open up this remote detonator, we can find out what happened.
Stand by to discuss the detonator. On my mark. We're way off course. We're heading exactly where I need to go.
So you saw all the beacons inside the map. Each of those is a clue and a flashback to what happened to your squad mate. So we picked up this one. You can find those in any order. The story still makes sense if you go whatever order that you want. So we're going to jump into the shoes of Dutch. Dutch was the guy who handed you the SMG in the opening cinematic. He has since met up with Mickey, and he and Mickey are kind of defending the Oni building. This is a few hours ago. 2 hours after drop, probably 4 hours before the rookie woke up.
Hurry up. You want to do this? Be my guest. But this ain't a job you want to run.
That do it?
Signal's good. Arm the other detonators and pull back to me.
Come on, tough guy. We got to blow this bridge.
So that's just the very beginning of the Dutch mission. If we would have continued to play, actually Dutch and Mickey would have fallen back into the interior of the Oni building, and a much bigger battle would have ensued. But It'll give you a sense of how the campaign mechanics will work in ODST. As the rookie at night, you'll explore the city, you'll look for clues. When you find a clue, you'll trigger a flashback mission that's a much more high-action, traditional Halo experience. Some of those are on foot, some of those involve vehicles. But you'll play through those missions until eventually the rookie's timeline will catch up and play out in the present. And hopefully, if things go well, you might actually have a way to turn the tide in the war against the Covenant. So that's the campaign. The other aspect of ODST that's new and we're excited about is our brand new cooperative game mode called Firefight. And this is really a way for 4 people just to dive right into the heart of Halo action. There's no story wrapper, it's just you and your buddies fighting wave after wave of oncoming Covenant with the whole Halo sandbox at your disposal.
Bridge all accepted. Have a pleasant trip.